Good morning from frigid, cold Salem. It is currently 18 degrees, but the wind chill, it feels like it's in the negatives at this point. I think they said that it would feel today either like -4, I believe. So yes, we absolutely have our gloves, but they don't really work. So we do have these hand warmers, and they work kind of, sort of, against this cold, but yeah, it's no joke today. So we're going to be out in the elements today. We hope to go to Proctor's Ledge, so we're excited, but we got to be very careful because we are freezing, but it's super fun. We're heating up the engine currently, and we got to take the, I'll show you, hold on. There it is. So Kenneth is going to do me a solid, be a brave man, and he is going to shave off the ice?
Yeah.
Shave off the ice. Let's go. Oh my God. All of my winter references in the movies I watch.
Yep.
It's pretty sad.
When you watch those movies, you're going to be like, oh my goodness.
I noticed the Salem water tower, and I just love the novelty of it. So we saw that, got our bearings, and headed to Proctor's Ledge. So the wooded area to my right here, this is Proctor's Ledge. And for a really long time, no one actually knew this was even here. When we talk about the Salem witch trials, we always hear about the people who were executed. But the exact location of the hangings was lost to history for over 300 years. Now, it wasn't until about 2016 that historians were able to identify this very spot as the most likely execution site. They went back to original court records, land deeds, and written accounts from the 1600s. Those documents consistently pointed to a rocky ledge on land that once belonged to the Proctor family, just outside the boundaries of Salem Village, along with what was then the old road toward Boston. Now, this location fits every historical description. One, elevated ground, public visibility, and the land where the sheriff would have been authorized to carry out all of the sentences. Based on all of that evidence, historians now believe that this is where 19 innocent people were executed in 1692. It's wild. What's even strange is that this is a regular neighborhood. So people live here. Like, there's a fence, obviously, and you cannot be here after dusk. This area is surveillance, thankfully, so be respectful when you're here. This is a neighborhood, so we're keeping our voice low. But that's someone's backyard. That's wild. Which does overlook Salem, and then people down the hill on the other side of this would have had, unfortunately, a sight to behold. And this would be considered Proctor's Ledge, named after John Proctor. Wow. If these trees can talk, huh? I mean, obviously these trees are new baby trees. They were not there back in the 1600s, but this land was, that's for sure. Incredible. We'll pay our respects. We'll head back down, and we'll catch up in the car. Some of my thoughts. We have some thoughts. It is freezing outside. We just visited Proctor's Ledge. We parked at Gallows Hill Park, and then you kind of like walk up the street, around the corner. It's very close, but it's super frigid outside.
Oh, yeah.
So we've been in Salem just for a couple of days. It's been a dream for me to come, and I think for you as well. And we've done all the things. We've seen all of like the touristy shopping stuff, and it was super fun. But with this history, it's gotten me thinking. I feel like with the Salem witch trials, and I can only speak for myself, so by all means jump in, but it's very oversimplified.
People don't get under the surface of it.
Right, but there's a lot more nuance and to the history of Salem. I don't want to turn this video into like a 40-minute like history lesson, but the most simplified way to talk about the nuances is that Salem back then, even before 1692, was a very tumultuous place.
I would just say everybody had a bone to pick with each other.
Very much so. Two towns, Salem town, money, influence, power. Salem village, which farmers, poor and taxed up the wazoo. And a little fun fact, Salem village is today Danvers, and then the Salem that we come to visit and know was Salem town, is Salem town. Like we mentioned, everyone had a bone to pick with each other. They had feuding families, they had land disputes, just instability. They had issues with their court system. They were desperate for stability, desperate for some kind of authority. They couldn't keep a minister, and the one minister that they wanted to put in, which was Samuel Parris, he was extremely controversial. Even then. Keep in mind, Samuel Parris, the accusations started within his household. So Samuel Parris's daughter was there with her friends, and Tituba, which was the enslaved woman under the Parris household, well, she would tell stories to the children about magic just to kind of pass the time away. But of course, overactive imagination, these kids started having fits, probably for attention more, and I think later on, even in the court record, like the main Parris girl confessed years later that there was no malice in what they were doing.
It was just for fun.
Just for fun. So keep in mind, Tituba, really interesting, and this part always gets left out. So at the time, you get Tituba and John Indian within Salem Village. They were asked by, what's her name? Mary Sibley, to bake a cake called a witch cake. We're not even making this up at all.
To help identify what was going on with the girls.
Right. And just a fun fact, hopefully YouTube does not strike us, but what was the cake made out of?
It was, it was herbs, flour, but the main thing was the urine of the people afflicted. So she had John Indian, who was another indentured servant, collect the urine. So like the little pots, I forgot what they're called.
Chamber pots.
Chamber pots. And use that to put in the cake, and they fed it to
the dog. So if the dog exhibited the fits or the seizures or whatever, the barking, whatever, then they would know that there was witchcraft. But nothing came of it. The dog just ate the cake, didn't come out of anything. Well, Reverend Parris found this out and was livid, and that kind of led to Tituba and her confession. Now, with her confession, it did broaden the scope, unfortunately, in the accusations. But keep in mind that at this time, it was incentivized, this behavior, to kind of rat on your neighbors. And remember, everyone is feuding with each other. And not just the Putnam and the Porter families, but the Corey family and, unfortunately, the Nurse family was caught in the crossfire.
Which, family accused Rebecca Nurse, but it was due to Rebecca overreacting when a couple of pigs trespassed on her property. Because
we're all Rebecca.
That night, the woman's husband started having convulsions, and then he passed away.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little sketch. But we're going to just say, but honestly, but people were getting sick. So all of this, and I'm sorry, like we're like rambling, but it's really important to look at all of these instances in the Salem witch trials as a whole.
And all the history, all the details.
All of the details that are often left out that, in my opinion,
I mean, it starts to explain the, quote, hysteria.
Correct. And keep in mind, this whole superstition stuff, it was a Puritan society, so they were already in the bag when it came to superstition. It was not a fringe belief. They believed in the supernatural. And all of these bad things, the one person, I mean, they were all very tragic. But I think with Rebecca Nurse, and I've mentioned this to you, it's like each time I think about her, I get like lumps in my throat because it was so heartbreaking. She was a good, upstanding woman. She was very frail, very ill, and she was accused. They found her not guilty
at first,
but the judge, he asked the jurors to reconsider their verdict. They did. She was
reinterrogated, but she was exhausted from the last one.
She was so exhausted that she just couldn't fight it anymore. And at that point, they found her guilty, and then she was executed. Very heartbreaking. And then Giles Corey. One more thing about Giles Corey, and I promise we will go on and have better, but we just have to talk about him. He had a rap sheet. This guy was an interesting character. He was accused of murder. Theft. He accused his wife of witchcraft, y'all. Like, he actually accused his own wife.
And he also had one of the largest land properties.
There it is. Which leads us to his execution.
No pun intended.
What did I say? Which? Be here all night. So, and we're not laughing, I'm sorry. But with Giles Corey, when he was executed, which he was the only victim of the Salem witch trials to be pressed to death, he never confessed. He never confessed to actually being a witch. If he did, he would essentially lose his property rights.
He refused to be, quote, put on the court, which meant tried by a jury of his peers. Remember, he likely sat in on a few of these trials, and he knew even if he wasn't guilty, he was going to get accused. He was going to get convicted.
Wow.
And then lose his land property, everything.
Right. So and keep in mind, his wife was hung. And he thought, okay, if we're going to go, this needs to go to my children, and I'm not going to let these folks take my land. So he never confessed, hence the more weight, unfortunately.
Yeah, his will written out and gave it to his sons.
So yeah, there's so much history, really. Like, you can read for hours and talk about this for hours, but that was just kind of my take. I love Salem. There's so much more history here than just about witches. And keep in mind, at the end of the day, these folks were innocent. They were not perfect people. They were not innocent morality-wise. But they were accused of something that they weren't. And now, how many years later, this is called the Witch City. And there's lots of tchotchkes and things, and which is all fun. I'm not going to poo-poo on it because I'm that too. I bought a witch hat, y'all. I bought a witch hat yesterday. So by no means I'm casting stones. I think it's a fun place.
I think it's important because the city does embrace its history.
It does.
And knows what it came from.
But it puts everything in perspective, and actually seeing the execution site, and we're going to check out the memorial. It makes you think. So, with that said, let's go ahead and drive to the memorial, pay our respects, and let's continue in Salem because it is a fantastic city, fantastic people. We love it here, and we couldn't be happier.
So after visiting Proctor's Ledge and the memorial, we headed down to the wharf, or should I say up to the wharf, and it was right on the ocean, and boy, did we feel the wind chill. As you can see me, I am holding a coffee cup because I needed something to warm my frigid body. And we loved this area. It was beautiful. This is actually the Wildlife Preserve building. I don't believe it was open, but I thought it's like shiplap. It's just gorgeous. So I just had to get a shot of it. It was giving me all of the Christmas fields. But the reason for heading to the wharf wasn't to visit the House of the Seven Gables, though that will be for a future trip for us. But we were headed to one of the most famous candy shops here in all of America. On the way, we bumped into this witch that was tethered to a light pole, and I thought it was hysterical. I actually thought it was a real person at first. She must be cold. And this is it, America's oldest candy company. We had to go inside. Oh, wonderful. Oh, they have lemon and peppermint. Which one would you like to get? Both? All right.
There's 2 of each in each pack.
Oh, there's two
Oh, lovely.
You want to see what they look like?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And it has peppermint oil and also lemon oil. So it's
very
strong.
pungent.
Yeah. So you just snap a piece off because it's hard.
Yeah.
And it melts in your mouth like after dinner.
Oh, nice. So don't chew it. Just let it go.
Yeah, you can chew it once.
Right. Once it's slightly softened by.
Yeah, it does soften up over time.
Like it melts over.
When they make it, it's really hard, and then over a 2-week period, being in the store and everything, it automatically starts to soften a
Nice.
little bit.
That's exciting. And do you know why it was shaped into into a diamond shape?
I know.
That's so interesting.
That's how Mary Spencer, who founded the company in 1806, this is the first commercially sold candy in America that she developed.
Wow. Before Hershey's. Yeah.
And we don't know why she shaped it like this, but they held true to the
I love it.
process. Still do it the same exact way.
So after chatting about the yummy peppermint Gibraltars, these are blackjacks, which essentially are black licorice. It's delicious. I'm one of those freaks that love black licorice. This shop had everything. They had, chocolate covered cherries, blueberries, pineapple, ginger, you name it, maple syrup. It was a feast for the eyes. We had to restrain ourselves. Quick update. We did some stuff and things. It's been a little bit too cold for me to film, so I've done a lot on my phone. But we did go to Ye Olde Candy Company, picked up some few gifts for at home. I don't want to say anything just in case if my family's watching, but there will be cute little goodies in the stocking. After Proctor's Ledge, we also went to the memorial. I didn't film that. It's fine. I just wanted to see it myself, Kenneth as well, and we paid our respects. So glad we did that. Last night in Salem, after we ate, we decided just to kind of walk along the town, and I wanted to see the first church in Salem, and that's where we are right now. It is a Universalist church now, but it was founded in 1629. It is beautiful, and it just goes up and up and up. And I think there's something in the back, but we're not going to go back there just because it's not lit properly, so we don't want to trespass if we're not allowed to. But this was just open. There's no gate here, and I suppose you can take a picture if you'd like, but this is so massive it's probably best seen from afar, but thought we'd document it. All right, next up we are headed to the Ropes Mansion, also known as Allison's house, and it's just as amazing as it is in the movie, though I think out front here they had like pumpkins on either side and hay bales. But it is a stunner. And you know what? The video may not do it justice, but it is a sizable mansion. Oh, we are in Allison's house. It's pretty amazing. Show some perspective. There's Kenny on the street. And now, on this side are the gardens. If you take this walkway up, it's not closed, so you can certainly see if we're able to go back there. Do you want to take a peek back there? So, we'll see. Probably won't go far just because it's not well lit, but normally during the springtime and summer, it's a beautiful garden. Now it's all dead. All right, so here at the Ropes Mansion, fun fact about it, it was built in 1727, but it didn't finish building until 2 years later in 1729. And there is a garden out back, which we're going to kind of see. It's not really well lit, so we'll see how far we can get into it. But it was not part of the original home. Sorry for the beeping.
Salem's always busy 24/7. But it was built by a Salem botanist and horticulturalist. His name was John Robinson, but it was built many hundreds of years after this home was built in 1912. Pretty cool. So let's go check out the garden, or at least as deep as we can get there. Oh yeah, and this is just the side of the house here, which is so neat. We always see the front, especially during, Hocus Pocus. That front facing of the home is infamous. But this is the back lot, the back garden. It's beautiful. Little free library. It's so sweet. Take a book, leave a book. All right, this is the back garden. Was the back garden. It is all dead, but in the springtime and summer, it is a sight to see. The back of the Ropes Mansion. It's beautiful. Oh, there's more information here. Oh yeah, about John Robinson. Oh, and these are the Rope sisters. That's wonderful. So they inherited it, and they did a full renovation, back in 1912. And here it stands. Gotta say, back here, totally creepy. Everywhere's creepy here in Salem, really. I love it.
Just further down the street, and we have the beautiful witch house, also known as the Jonathan Corwin House. It was built in the mid-1600s, and it's the only surviving structure here in Salem with a direct connection to the witch trials era. Jonathan Corwin was a local magistrate, and he was later a judge during the trials, and he lived here. Keep in mind, though, no trials actually were held in this house, but Corwin was actively involved in the court proceedings. Originally, this house was part of a much larger property near Salem's early town center, and as the city developed over hundreds of years, all of the buildings around it were eventually lost and the property was divided. In the late 1800s, the house was nearly demolished, but thankfully was saved and preserved to what you see here today.
Check out these cobblestones. They're gnarly. Oh, to show the hours and stuff, but look how close we are. Oh, creepy. Love it, love it. Cool stuff about Salem Inn. It has a dumbwaiter. So cool. Just in case. No people. Oh.
You can do it to the first thing.
Shucks. All right. Headed back to our room to pack. We're gonna put all of our luggage inside the car. We managed to score a parking spot right out front. Awesome. And then we leave tomorrow morning. Okay, here we go. Time to pack. Good morning. Good morning. All right, we are on our way to the gas station to fill up the rental car and then to the airport. We're currently parked on the street here on Salem Inn. We had a wonderful breakfast. They were amazing. Highly recommend the Salem Inn. They were very kind, very warm, very hospitable. This was awesome. They cook it by hand. From scratch. By feet.
Spaghetti breakfast.
Yeah, I was gonna say. They cook it with their feet. They cook it with their feet. They're very talented. Now they cook it from scratch. That's the word I was trying to think of. And they're lovely. They're lovely. So we're currently heating up the car because there's still ice and snow haven't melted yet. So yeah, off we go. Adventure time. We are headed home today, and we will absolutely be back. Salem is a truly magical place. All pun intended and no pun intended. It's wonderful.
We made it safely to the airport and had a wonderful, smooth flight home to beautiful Central Florida. I want to thank you so much for coming along with me on our very first trip to Salem and for experiencing it with me. This was such a special place to finally see in person, and I'm really grateful I got to share it with you. Thank you, as always, for watching and supporting the channel. I can't wait to come back to Salem again someday, and in the next video, I will be doing a haul of all the things that I picked up while I was here. I'll see you in the next one, and as always, stay spooky.